Sometimes the loudest cries are not heard in the open, but behind closed doors, in quiet rooms where no one else is watching, and only God is listening. This is the story of Ethan. Ethan was everything the world calls successful. He lived in a nice Chicago suburb, drove a brand new car, had thousands of followers online, and wore the best suits. People admired his smile, but no one ever asked why it never reached his eyes. Years ago, Ethan had a brother. His name was Josh. They grew up together. Same bunk bed, same baseball team, same backyard dreams. But life took them different directions. Ethan climbed the ladder. Josh fell into addiction. And one night when Josh came to Ethan, trembling, broken, asking for help, Ethan said words that would haunt him forever. "You're not my responsibility. Don't come back until you fix yourself." Josh never came back. For years, Ethan carried on like nothing had happened. He posted, worked, laughed with clients. But every night he would sit alone in his living room, stare at an old photo of them as boys, and wonder where Josh was sleeping that night, if he was sleeping at all. One night the call came. Josh had died in a city shelter. No final hug, no last words, just a journal found beside his bed. And in that journal, one line circled in shaky handwriting. "I kept hoping he'd call. I thought maybe he still cared. Maybe God would change his heart." Ethan dropped to his knees, but the world didn't see it. Only God did. Behind closed doors he wept like a child. The man who had everything was suddenly empty. He stopped showing up to meetings. He stopped eating. He even stopped answering his phone. Grief, guilt, regret. It swallowed him like a storm that refused to pass. Then one Sunday, without a plan, Ethan walked into a church, not a grand cathedral, just a small room with wooden pews and a single piano. Pastor stood with a Bible in his hand and read from Luke 15. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and ran to him. Ethan felt something break inside, not a breakdown, but a breakthrough. He whispered, "God, I shut the door on my brother. Please don't shut the door on me." And in that moment, there was no lightning, no loud voice, but there was peace, stillness, forgiveness. Ethan sat there for over an hour after the service ended, just him and God, just pain and mercy, finally touching. That week he visited the shelter where Josh spent his last nights. He asked questions, he listened to stories, and then he went back again. And again. He started sitting with young men who reminded him of Josh. He prayed with them. He cried with them. He told them the truth. "I failed my brother, but I won't fail you. God gave me another chance, and I won't waste it." One night, a teenage boy named Marcus sat beside him, shoulders shaking. He had just been kicked out by his stepfather. He had nowhere to go. No one left. Ethan stayed the night in that shelter next to Marcus. He whispered, "You're not alone. Not tonight. And not ever again." Marcus smiled, the kind of smile that only grace can pull out of a soul that's forgotten how to hope. Friend, maybe you're like Josh, waiting for someone to care, or maybe you're like Ethan, realizing too late that your silence hurt more than you knew. But I want you to know this: behind every closed door, God is still present. He sees the tears you hide. He knows the words you never said. And he still writes stories of redemption. You're not too far gone. You're not too broken. You're not too late. The truth may break you, but God's love will rebuild you. So tonight, if you need to cry, cry. If you need to call someone, call. If you need to forgive or be forgiven, don't wait. Because behind closed doors, grace still knocks. And maybe, just maybe, it's knocking for you right now.